Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
At ease. EU takes step toward joint army. Before we read this article, in order for us to really understand that this is not the first European army, in fact, there was a European army some time ago. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Let's go to Deceptions of the Ages, Mormons, Freemasons, and Extraterrestrials, and read about the rise of the Templars. The Magna Carta, which was signed in 1215, limited the rights of the King of England. It was the first in a series of social contracts in England that emphasized how dependent the king was upon his underlings for their support. For the church, which was dependent upon the money and the soldiers that were provided by the individual kingdoms for its own security and its foreign enterprises, the European system was a huge headache. By declaring the Templars exempt from all laws and under the direct control of the Pope, Europe and the Church had what it had been in need of since the days of Charlemagne, a European army. Not only were the Templars a European army because of their banking enterprises and land holdings, they were a well-financed, self-supporting European army as well. Now, on with our story. EU takes step toward joint army. The vast majority of EU states have agreed to create what some have called the nucleus of a joint army. 23 of 28 EU states signed the declaration in Brussels on Monday, 13 November, prior to making a legally blinding pledge at an EU summit next month. Britain, Denmark, Ireland, Malta, and Portugal stayed out. Britain, Denmark, Ireland, Malta, and Portugal stayed out. But some of them, such as Ireland, indicated they might join in time for the summit. Britain, which is leaving the EU, could also take part under special conditions. EU Foreign Relations Chief Federica Mogherini called the signing ceremony an emotional moment. She said that from the point of view of her native Italy, the decision had dismantled the ghosts of the past and showed that the taboo concerning EU defense could be broken. It was also a reaction to an inward turn by the EU's main security ally, the US, under its new president, Donald Trump, and to heightened instability following Russia's invasion of Ukraine and a string of Islamist terrorist attacks. So, what happened to the last bankers' army in Europe? The Templars, as the Pope's private army and banking establishment, left many of the local rulers in Europe in a state of uneasiness and debt. Their freedom to move about Europe, the secrecy of their organization, and most importantly, their continued military blunders, left many questioning their legitimacy as soldiers of God. Finally, the French King Philip IV pulled the plug. He declared them redundant and had them arrested on October 13th, 1307. Carry on, America.